What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about God of War Ragnarok DLC. Now, a few things. Number one, well, happy Thanksgiving to those that celebrate. Hopefully, you guys are having an awesome day, and thank you for taking time to watch this video. And secondly, this is actually pretty funny, this story, because this was something, and I tweeted this a few days ago. I wanted to just ask a question, sometimes for games, big games, or games, could have DLC, could not. I like to throw that as a video and see what people think. So I was going to do one on Ragnarok, but then they kind of answered the question for me. So this probably not in the quote. We're going to read a quote, but it's not going to contain spoilers, but I'm probably going to talk about spoilers. So just, to be aware if you're, not done with God of War Ragnarok. So basically the game director, right, Eric Williams, was on the Kind of Funny Game spoiler cast, and he was asked about DLC, and his response, his quote was, "I don't know, man. God of War Ragnarok is big. I think we put everything we had into it, so I wouldn't count on it." And that was the line. So is this surprising? No. And in fact, again, like in a multiverse where I made this video talking about will God of War get DLC, and we didn't know that he said this thing, I probably also would have said no, it won't get DLC. And now, again, we have to go into a little bit of spoilers. The reason why I wouldn't get DLC, I feel like, is pretty obvious. It just doesn't feel like something you would necessarily need this big DLC expansion. Do you add a new part to Midgard, right? Do you add something to one of these realms? And then what do you do with the story? Now, what do you do with the story? Well, I'll tell you. And again, we've actually talked about this in past videos. You go forward with Kratos, or you go forward with Atreus, or you go forward with both, right? I know I've pitched the idea that, I actually have seen this. I feel like this is a generally accepted thing that people would be okay with. Atreus gets a spin-off game that is, God of blank. It maybe isn't even called God of War anymore. He gets a spin-off game, and it's about his hunt for the giants, right? His quest. And then you keep going with God of War games. Kratos is the main character. Maybe Atreus can come back, right? So you have like a Spider-Man thing going on. I suggested that in a video about a week or so ago, and, I've seen people generally agree with that line of thinking. I don't think that's a hugely controversial idea. So that's probably, is it what I want to happen? Yeah. So I'm going to lean more into it, but I think that would be the road they go down, not adding, because if you did DLC, here's what you would do. If you did DLC for Ragnarok, it would probably be Atreus's thing. It'd be where Atreus goes at the end of the game and continuing that. And, you could do that, I suppose. It'd be a pretty meaty thing. Or you could just make a spin-off game that's like a Miles Morales. It's 5-10 hours long for like the main story. It's got side stuff to do. You expand Atreus. He's the lead of that game. There is really no Kratos, and that's it. That seems pretty easy. Easy. That seems to be a logical path forward, right? I suppose you could do that in DLC for Ragnarok, but I think a spin-off game at a slightly cheaper price makes a lot of sense, and is probably the preferable route that they go. And so, yeah, I would read into, obviously whenever you have these kind of quotes, there's a debate of how much do you read into his words, right? He's not saying no. He doesn't say, no, there's no DLC. But he says, God of War's big. They put everything into it. I wouldn't count on it. So I wouldn't count on it either. I'm going to kind of lean into his words and say he's kind of telling us it's not going to happen. But who knows, really? So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on the next one.